Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam to all. So today we are reading from the book Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, written by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrila Prabhupāda. So we are reading chapter number 67, The Deliverance of Dvivida Gorilla. While Shukadeva Goswami continued to speak on transcendental pastimes and characteristics of Lord Kṛṣṇa, King Parikshit, upon hearing him, became more and more enthusiastic and wanted to hear further. Shukadeva Goswami next narrated the story of Dvivida, the gorilla who was killed by Lord Balaram. This gorilla was a great friend of Bhaumasur or Narkasur, who was killed by Kṛṣṇa in connection with his kidnapping 16,000 princesses from all over the world. Dvivida was the minister of King Sugriva. His brother, Manida, was also a very powerful gorilla king. When Dvivida gorilla heard the story of his friend Bhaumasur being killed by Lord Kṛṣṇa, he planned to create mischief throughout the country in order to set avenge for the death of Bhaumasur. His first business was to set fire in villages, towns, and industrial and mining places, as well as in the residential quarters of mercantile men who were busy dairy farming and protecting cows. Sometimes he will uproot a big mountain and tear it into pieces. In this way, he created great disturbances all over the country, especially in the province of Katwar. The city of Dwaraka was situated in this Katwar province, and because Lord Kṛṣṇa used to live in this city, Dvivida specifically made his target of disturbance in Katwar. Dvivida was as powerful as 10,000 elephants. Sometimes he will go to the seashore, and with his powerful hands, he will create so much disturbance in the sea that he will flood the neighboring cities and villages. Often, he will go to the hermitages of saintly persons and sages and cause a great disturbance by smashing the beautiful gardens and orchards. Not only did he create disturbances in this way, but sometimes he will pass urine and stool on their sacred sacrificial arenas. He will thus pollute the whole atmosphere. He also kidnapped both men and women, taking them away from their residential places to the caves of the mountains. After putting them within the caves, he will close the entrance with large chunks of stone, like the briggy insect, which arrests and carries away many flies and other insects and puts them within the holes of trees where it lives. Thus, Dvivida regularly defied the law of and order of the country. Not only that, but he will sometimes pollute the female members of many aristocratic families by forcibly raping them. While creating such disturbances all over the country, sometimes he heard very sweet musical sounds from Raivataka mountain. So, he entered the mountainous regions. There, he saw Lord Balaram in the midst of many beautiful young girls, enjoying their company while singing and dancing. Dvivida became captivated by the beauty of Lord Balaram's body, whose every feature was very beautiful, decorated as he was with a garland of lotus flowers. Similarly, all the young girls present, dressed and garlanded with flowers, exhibited much beauty. Lord Balaram seemed fully intoxicated from drinking the Varuni beverage, and his eyes appeared to be rolling in drunken state. Lord Balaram appeared just like a king of elephants in the midst of many she-elephants. This gorilla, by the name Dvivida, could climb up into the trees and jump from one branch to another. Sometimes he will jerk the branches, creating a particular type of sound, kila kila, so that Lord Balaram was greatly distracted from the pleasing atmosphere. Sometimes Dvivida will come before the woman and exhibit different kind of caricatures. By nature, young women are apt to enjoy everything with laughter and joking, and when the gorilla came before them, they did not take him seriously, but simply laughed at him. However, the gorilla was so rude that even in the presence of Balaram, he began to show the lower part of his body to the woman, and sometimes he will come forward to show his teeth while moving his eyebrows. He disrespected the woman even in the presence of Balaram. Lord Balaram's name suggests that not only he is very powerful, but he takes pleasure in exhibiting extraordinary strength. So he took a stone and threw it at Dvivida. The gorilla, however, artfully avoided being struck by the stone. In order to insult Balaram, the gorilla took away the earthen pot in which the Varuni was kept. Dvivida, being thus intoxicated with his limited strength, began to tear off all the valuable clothes worn by Balaram and the accompanying young girls. He was so puffed up that he thought Balaram could not do anything to chastise him. and he continued to offend Balaramji and his companions. When Lord Balaram saw the disturbances created by Gorilla and heard that he had already performed many mischievous activities all over the country, he became very angry and decided to kill him. Immediately, he took his club in his hands. The gorilla could understand that now Balaram was going to attack him. To counteract Balaram, he immediately uprooted a big oak tree, and with great force, it came and struck the Lord Balaram's head. Lord Balaram, however, immediately caught hold of the big tree and remained undisturbed, just like a great mountain. To retaliate, he took his club, named Sunanda, and hit the gorilla with it, severely injuring his head. Currents of blood flowed from the gorilla's head with great force, but the stream of blood simply enhanced his beauty, like a stream of liquid manganese coming out of great mountain. The striking of Lord Balaram's club did not even slightly disturb him. On the contrary, he immediately uprooted another big oak tree, and after clipping all its leaves, again struck Lord Balaram's head with it. But Balaram, with the help of his club, tore the tree into pieces. Since the gorilla was very angry, he took another tree in his hands and struck Lord Balaram's body. Again, Lord Balaram tore the tree to pieces, and fighting continued. Each time the gorilla would bring out a big tree to strike Balaram, Lord Balaram will tear the tree into pieces by striking his club, and the gorilla Dvivida will clutch another tree from another direction and again attack Lord Balaram in the same way. As a result of this continuous fighting, the forest became treeless. When no more trees were available, Dvivida took the help of hills and threw large pieces of stone like rainfall upon Lord Balaram's body. Lord Balaram, in great sporting mood, began to smash all those big pieces of stone into mere pebbles. The gorilla, being bereft of all trees and stone slabs, now stood before Balaram and waved his strong fists. Then, with great force, he began to beat Lord Balaram's chest with his fists. This time, Lord Balaram became most angry. Since the gorilla was striking him with his hands, Lord Balaram would not strike him back with his own weapons, the club or the plough. Simply with his fist, he struck the collarbone of the gorilla. The blow proved fatal to Dvivida, who immediately vomited blood and fell unconscious upon the ground. When the gorilla fell, all the hills and forest appeared to totter. After this horrible incident, all the Siddhas, great sages and great saintly persons from the upper planetary systems, showered flowers upon the person of Lord Balaram and vibrated sounds glorifying his supremacy. All of them chanted, "All glories to Lord Balaram. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet. By killing this great demon, Dvivida, you have initiated an auspicious era for the world." All such jubilant sounds of victory were heard from outer space. After killing the great demon, Dvivida, and being worshipped by showers of flowers and glorious sounds of victory, Balaram returned to his capital city, Dwarka. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 67th chapter of Kṛṣṇa, the deliverance of Dvivida Gorilla. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.